You're watching Chef Club.
Added to it. That's what, guys. We're just gonna place it right on top and we're gonna cook it. Welcome back to Chef Club. Today, we're cooking with fire. So today, we're cooking pork belly. First and foremost, always have a glove and always have a sharp knife. I wanna show you a beautiful little pork belly that we got here. So what you're looking at is 4 of the different layers. Big thing with pork belly, you need to press it down. And what we also need to do is make sure that we actually crosshatch. Always make sure to go about a finger with the crosshatch. One thing you don't want is to go into the meat. So we make a little bit of an X pattern on the top half where the fat is, because if it doesn't, it's gonna shrink all into it and the meat's actually gonna go like this. And so by going this way, you're gonna get a really brown, good texture. Now I have the aluminum foil. Just gonna take a handful of salt and I'm gonna put it right on top. Just gonna form a little bit of a rectangle to fit the pork belly. Bay leaf for flavor, some fresh thyme. To start the dry barbecue rub, have a little bit of cumin, brown sugar, cool, onion powder, paprika and chili powder, black pepper, and then finishing off with a little bit of salt. Now I'm giving it a mix. I'm gonna grab my beautiful pork belly, turn it upside down, and then I'm just gonna go right on the bottom of it. Because as we're cooking, you're gonna have air going up, and so now this barbecue rubs is gonna get to the top where the fat is. If some of the rub falls off, don't worry about it. And so I'm gonna push down ever so slightly. All right, so now we're just gonna fold it. I'm gonna pinch, and then we're just gonna roll. So we're creating a little boat. Now you want it kind of snug, so we can see the pork loin on the inside. Now we're just gonna wrap it just like a present. Fold it in. So guess what? We get to use one of these cast iron skillet for today's recipe. We're gonna grab our salt. We're gonna pour a little layer, even it out. We're gonna have our pork belly. We're gonna place it right in the middle. And then we're gonna pour salt all the way up. Make sure you spread it around. And now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. We're not gonna cover the pork belly. Just pushing up to the side so that it retains the heat while it cooks. Now it's ready to go to the fireplace, so let's go. Wow. All right, so now we're just gonna place the pork belly on our piece of wood there. We're gonna grab a little shovel, and we're gonna get the embers from the bottom with our little shovel here. Then we're gonna place them right on top of the salt. This is gonna burn my hand. Number one, it's gonna take a little time to cook, about 4 hours. Every hour, make sure that you turn it. And we have to make sure that we always have embers that are a little bit hot, like this with the color here on top. I replace the embers every 30 minutes. It's gonna keep the heat in. And for tip number two, make sure that your oven, aka fireplace, is always going hot. So if you need to add a few more logs, go ahead to sustain that 4-hour cook time. All right, so now I'm gonna make a barbecue sauce because the meat's almost done. So with the leftover dry rub that we have, we're gonna incorporate a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard, and we're gonna mix everything together. We're gonna add Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Whiskey. Now this is gonna bring a little smoky flavor to the sauce. So we're gonna let that rest for about 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna go check on our pork belly. Now we're actually gonna take it out. We have a lot of the embers still on it. Just kind of shake it off. You hear a little bit of the salt crackling. We need to take it out of the salt. And so to help with that, I got a bowl, also a little spoon, because you really don't want to get this really hot salt and also the embers on your table. Be very careful whenever you're taking it out. Give it a few taps, and now I'm putting it right on the cutting board. It is skewering time. Have 3 skewers. Grab your barbecue sauce that you made earlier, and what we're gonna do is you're gonna brush it on the top, sides, and bottom. It's actually gonna enhance the fire flavor and also a little sweetness because we added brown sugar to it. For our final step, it is time to flambe. We're gonna add our Jack Daniel's whiskey to our pan, and do you hear that? It's still hot. So you smell the Jack Daniel's, and now this is gonna fuse just a little bit more. Pretty cool, huh? All right, gonna add a little bit of aluminum foil right to the top, so we don't get any more salt added to it. That's what, guys. We're just gonna place it right on top and we're gonna cook it. All we're looking for here is just to get a little bit of the barbecue sauce to caramelize around the outside of the entirety. So I'm just gonna hold the skewers. You can see how we're getting those good bubbles here, where it's caramelizing the sugar. All right, so now we have our beautiful, juicy cooked pork belly. Use the back of a fork, it'll help. All we're gonna do is slide out the skewers. I'm always gonna slice where we cut the crosshatch, never go down. As I say, it's just